Hey yo guys, how are you doing? As always, this video is done on viewer request. So time to share my thoughts on Dead or Alive 6 and Ryu Hayabusa's role in it, and the possibilities of a new Ninja Gaiden game. So with last year's reveal of Dead or Alive 6 and Ryu Hayabusa's prominent role in the reveal trailer, one could say I was hyped for the game. Ryu was even featured on the Dead or Alive 6 steelbook. I was imagining a new Ninja Gaiden game tease. Finally, Team Ninja was back on track and showing Ninja Gaiden fans some love. It was all sunshine and rainbows until Dead or Alive 6 finally released. But before we dive into the bitter truth about Team Ninja and Dead or Alive 6, grab yourself some pizza and a coffee, kick back, and highly recommend it, make yourself comfortable, because this is gonna be a shocker. Dead or Alive 6 is a mixed bag. And to be more accurate, the reveal trailer for Dead or Alive 6 should have been looked like this. As a Ninja Gaiden fan, Dead or Alive 6 left me disappointed and sad. And before I go into full rant mode, I want to say this is my perspective as a diehard Ninja Gaiden fan. Because as a fighting game, Dead or Alive 6 is pretty good. On a technical level, everything connects, the combat feels fluid and you can win matches with style or button mashing. The graphics look great and I always like the aesthetic mix of anime and realistic looks. The new feature that characters can get all bruised up and dirty during fights adds a lot to the immersion. Nothing is more satisfying than punching someone in the face and send them flying across the arena, ending up all dirty on the ground, or sending them over the edge of the stage for some extra damage and some fan servicey moments. The stage transitions are great as ever. Sadly, the character selection is a bit smaller than in Dead or Alive 5, but overall it's a great variety of different characters and fighting styles. As someone who has been doing martial arts for several years, I usually tend to go for characters that have a fighting style grounded in reality. But as a Ninja Gaiden fan, I was really pleased to finally see Ryu in action again. And he was my main during my first hours in the game. Rick's Taekwondo style was pretty spot on too, and Brad's Drunken Master brought back a lot of memories. When it comes to the girls, I would say Kazumi, Mila and Hitomi have pretty good fighting styles. At its heart, at its core, Dead or Alive 6 is a really good and fun fighting game. The gameplay is really solid. I haven't played such a good 3D fighter in a while, but everything surrounding those core mechanics is mediocre at best. And it seems like Team Ninja and Tecmo are doing everything in their power to ruin Dead or Alive 6. Starting with the elephant in the room, let's talk about the Season Pass. It is a bit pricey. A Season Pass that costs more than the full game is hefty. It seems like Tecmo is trying to cash in on the hardcore fanbase. And if you look at Dead or Alive 5 and the price for all DLC combined, it feels like a predetermined route for Dead or Alive 6 too. This seems to be the sad reality of Team Ninja games these days. As with all fighting games, the long-term appeal is pretty much non-existent. After beating the story mode in around 2 to 3 hours, there is barely a thing to do other than unlocking costumes. I know that a lot of complaints are coming from the lack of online support and modes for Dead or Alive 6, and while I understand, I would argue the best way to play a fighting game is in couch versus with a real life player, because there are two ways your online fighting experience can go down. First, you have the best skill in the world, but you have laggy internet connection or a shitty netcode, so you will lose no matter what. Second, you will rival the most hardcore Dead or Alive player ever that will air juggle you so long, you will have time to write love letters to the ground. So I tend to stick to the real life experience. But the real letdown and the biggest disappointment for me was the lack of Ryu Hayabusa in the story mode. As a Ninja Gaiden fan, this was the biggest disappointment in a long-running series of disappointments with Team Ninja. Every time Ryu is featured in a new game, it's either a bonkers non-canon story or he is reduced to be the minorest of the side characters. And this trend continues in Dead or Alive 6. Ryu only appears briefly in the main campaign and plays a non-important role to the overall storyline. And if you paid attention for the last 5 minutes, you saw the whole screen time of Ryu in Dead or Alive 6. That is literally everything, including the cutscenes. And it's just sad. This is foreshadowing the things to come. It only gets worse from here on out, because it's time to rip into the Hayabusa storyline. So let me say that out loud. Team Ninja is creatively bankrupt. The story of Dead or Alive 6 is convoluted and filled with fan service. So if you don't care about Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive 6 can be guilty pleasure fun, but with Ryu barely in it, I couldn't get any enjoyment out of it. Also, his English voice actor sounds more like a grumpy grandpa Snake than a 25-year-old Ryu Hayabusa.
War has changed. It's over. Now return to your home. Farewell.
Or maybe we will have to add smoking to his hobbies. Things like that break the immersion harder than an Itsuna drop from a skyscraper. It seems like Dead or Alive 6 is the furthest in the Ninja Gaiden timeline. The canon or the official start of the Ninja Gaiden games is Ninja Gaiden 2004 or Ninja Gaiden Black, followed by the rest of the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. It's like Star Wars, but in this case the prequels are better, followed by the NES games, followed by the anime. Yes, there is a Ninja Gaiden anime too. And now DOA 6 continues the storyline. And if I'm honest, I think Team Ninja have no overarching long-term plans for the series. They just made up things as the games come along. Half the time, it makes absolutely no freaking sense. But hey, it's entertaining. To be perfectly honest, after finishing Dead or Alive 6, I felt a huge depressing shadow clouding my mind, coming to terms with the sad reality that Team Ninja has no idea what to do with the Ninja Gaiden franchise. In my last video I talked about Itagaki, and I have the feeling since he left Team Ninja, it's an unwritten rule to stay away from anything Ninja Gaiden related. You guys at Team Ninja have proven you can make a decent game with Nioh. Now it's time to jump over your shadow, get your ego out of the way and make a good Ninja Gaiden game again. And I'm not alone with this. As soon as Tecmo posts anything Ninja Gaiden related, the fanbase crowds the comment sections and begs for a new title. But all they do is play it off. I was never too much into the Dead or Alive series. I casually played all of them. As a fighting game enthusiast, I had tons of fun with the gameplay, and the goofy story was okay, I would say, but nothing more. I was really hoping for a more serious toned story like Dead or Alive 2 on the original Xbox. The opening cinematic still hits me right in the feels every time I watch it. How did we go from serious and thrilling story beats like that to this is beyond me? I guess this is what Team Ninja does nowadays. The marketing for Dead or Alive 6 felt kinda weird too. Tecmo announced that DOA 6 aims to be an esport title and should be taken more seriously, only to do the old switcheroo and advertise their first livestream with 2 role models of the female Twitch streaming scene. At this point, I think Team Ninja is going down the Konami road, milking their franchise till the end. Next year we probably see some Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden pachinko machines. Oh my god, it is already happening.
Their evil plans are still in motion. Kasumi, do not let your guard down.
It can't be.
As a Ninja Gaiden fan, Dead or Alive 6 was a huge letdown. After seeing Ryu so prominently featured in the reveal trailer, I was genuinely hyped for the game. I was really hoping Ryu would play a major part in the storyline, or we would get some hints on a future Ninja Gaiden game. And the really sad thing is that Dead or Alive 6 is a really fun fighting game. The gameplay is fluid and fast. When your attacks connect, you really feel the punch. I had tons of fun with the game, but as a Ninja Gaiden fan, it was a letdown. Again, by Team Ninja and Tecmo. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on Dead or Alive 6? Have you played the story mode? And what do you think about Ryu Hayabusa's role in it? Is Team Ninja holding back for a new Ninja Gaiden game, or do they have no plan at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, kick the like button, sharing is caring, and subscribe. But most importantly, have a great day and get the kick out of gaming.
Do not worry. She is safe.